Hi guys, it's Regan, and in today's video we're going to cover what is SEO copywriting services, and we're going to look at the Trident model, which is our sort of internal model that we use to implement amazing copy on our clients' websites. Okay, so before we jump into the Trident model and the way that we look at copywriting, we need to look at sort of and define what is SEO copywriting as a service. Neil Patel, for example, defines SEO copywriting services as useful, compelling, and valuable content that targets specific keywords. So when we're talking about SEO copy, what we're really talking about is implementing keywords throughout your landing pages, throughout your blogs, throughout your primary pages of your website, and the copy itself is there to tell the search engine what you're writing about. So it's very heavily based on the keywords you use within your copy. So that is what SEO copywriting is within a nutshell. But the Trident model doesn't just consider SEO copy, because if you're just focused on writing a piece of content that makes a search engine happy, it's not very good for users. It's not very engaging. It's not emotive. And also it's not very good for sales and conversions. So the Trident model, I'm just going to put the model up for you to see it now so you can see what we're looking at. You can see it's a balance of 3 elements. So one, you want it to be SEO friendly. Secondly, you want it to implement sales copy. And then thirdly, you want it to be user friendly. And each sort of each of these 3 elements are equally as important. And the idea is you want to reach sort of an equilibrium and sort of the optimal piece of copies where all 3 of them meet in the middle. So just to explain a little bit about what is user-friendly copy, if you think about when you're reading an article from a journalist, or if you're reading a novel, the words that are used are all about the reader engagement and to keep you reading. So the words are emotive, descriptive, and they're not necessarily going to be optimal for letting a search engine know about what product or service you're selling. And also they're not usually optimal for making a sale or converting somebody within a landing page, for example. Now, when you talk about sales copy, that's an entirely different service. People are paid a lot of money to write great sales copy for websites and businesses. Sales copy is how you get someone and how you lead a prospect through a website page to make a purchase decision, or to fill out a form, leave an email, or even it could even be as simple as clicking on a button. So how you lead and get people to convert on a website, that would be sales copy. Okay, so now that we've got an overview of each element within the Trident model, it's also important to note that they do conflict each other, and to have an awareness of this for when you're implementing copy on your website, on your next blog post or your next landing page. So it's important to know when you focus on SEO friendly content, that can take away from the user friendliness and also the sales effectiveness. And it's important to know the more you focus on user friendliness, sometimes that can take away from how geared and how optimal it is for a search engine to read the content, and also how optimal it is for conversions. And if you focus too much on the sales side of it, it can become too much of a sales pitch, which is very bad for user friendliness and also not good for search engines. For example, if it's just saying get started, buy now, these are key, words that are not going to tell a search engine what product or service you're offering. And also, if done too much, can get a customer to actually, or a prospect to bounce off of the page, which can negatively affect your bounce rate. So why is it important to reach this equilibrium and have a balance of the right mix. Just some benefits if this is done correctly. What benefits you can see? Of course, improve your rankings in the search engine results pages. You can target the people that you're writing for specifically much better. You can increase your overall visibility for your content, so you can reach more eyeballs, reach more people. Increase your organic traffic to your website, optimize your sales, your conversions, your leads. You can increase your authority on a subject. Okay, so if your content's written well and it is meeting all these criteria, you're naturally going to be become a sort of an authority within that subject. You can target specific geographical locations. This is more on the SEO side of things if you know what you're doing with the right keywords. Target specific psychographics. Again, if you know how to use the right keywords, you can target specific psychographics. Develop brand positioning and identity. Prevent traffic obstruction and penalties. Again, if you're just keyword stuffing and you're not mindful of that balance and that equilibrium that I've mentioned within the Trident model, you're going to run into obstructions and penalties. It can minimize your opportunity cost because you're sort of presenting the copy in the best way it could be presented. You can create more effective copy than your competition. You know, a lot of competitors in the SEO space, for example, they don't necessarily sort of balance out their SEO work with engaging copy and sales-oriented copy just because that's what they do. So if you can be the person who balances everything out correctly, you can have an advantage over your competition. And then also, you can increase your return on investment from having a better page that performs better. So those are sort of the advantages of doing your SEO copywriting correctly. So hopefully that overview of what the Trident model is and how those three elements and the fact that you have to sort of wear three hats as you're writing your content for your blog or your landing page or the primary pages of your website. Hopefully that can help you moving forward when you're writing your own copy for your own website. If you're considering investing in SEO copywriting services, one thing to consider is just how well written you think your current content is. If you need someone to have a look over that, at Concourse Marketing, we offer a free SEO audit. We'd be happy to go over your current pages, let you know what we think the balance is like on your current site and your current pages. So you can always request a free audit in the description below. If you want to read the full blog post as well, the link's in the description as well. Just give that a click and you can sort of go into more detail around what we've discussed today. But that is everything for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.